guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in sunny Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We have it, and we have it first. This is the all-new 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazer RS. But before we dive into the new Trailblazer, let's talk a little bit of history about this SUV from Chevrolet. Trailblazer first hit the streets back in 1999. Those early generations of the Trailblazer, so much different than what we see here, not only in size, but also in performance and capabilities. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are those devoted fans that have their heart broken after seeing the new Trailblazer unveiled at the LA Auto Show that we brought to you here on Rady's Rides. But now it's time to really get into the meat of it, really get behind the wheel and see if this new Trailblazer is going to be a success for Chevrolet. Now, where does this fall in their lineup? Because it seems like Chevrolet has a ton of SUVs and crossover SUVs. This is going to fall in between the Trax and the Chevrolet Equinox. One thing is for certain, bringing back this name, they're trying to evoke some of that excitement and really bring a value to the smaller crossover SUV segment. So let's go ahead, dive into this all-new 2021 Trailblazer crossover SUV. You'll notice right off the bat, much smaller than the original Trailblazer. I'm a little disappointed. I really felt like this could have been Chevrolet's big moment, GM's big moment, since they let us down with the Blazer and not making that a full off-road vehicle. This could have been the off-road vehicle to go after, especially with the Bronco hitting dealerships very, very soon. But let's see what we're looking like styling-wise. Almost looks like a baby version of the current Blazer. So you're gonna have your LED daytime running lamps up top. You work your way down, you have your headlight design, that unique split setup that was seen on the Blazer. And you know what? It also has some styling cues from the Chevrolet Camaro, as crazy as that sounds. You can see the projector beam style headlight in there. You have a little bit of fake vent area, which I'm gonna zonk. Nothing too bad, too big. And it's gloss black and it's not that crazy, but still gonna zonk it because they could have just left this nice and smooth. I think that would have been a cleaner look. Drop down, you do have very, very small, slim LED fog lamps down below and a little bit of flat black. Looks very tasteful. We come across the center section, and this is where we're getting a lot of that styling similarities between this and the bigger Blazer, and of course the Chevrolet Camaro. So you're up top, you do have, this is all solid fake vent. So kind of disappointed there, we're gonna zonk that, but you do have that blacked out Chevrolet bow tie. We work our way down. This is where you have the functionality to bring air into that radiator and intercooler. Yes, this does have a turbocharged engine. RS, remember that stands for Rally Sport. When you see RS on a Chevrolet product, that is an appearance package. There's no actual extra performance from an RS standpoint. But one thing is for certain, this scarlet red fits this Trailblazer to a T. We keep working our way down. One of my favorite parts is this lower splitter area kind of tucked in. If you notice, it's got, and I don't know if Tom could show this off, it's got this faux carbon fiber weave to it going on. It actually almost looks like real carbon fiber when you take a quick glance at it, but really aggressive at the front end of the business. And when we go up onto the hood, you'll notice you have some black chrome accent. I like the darker chrome rather than something bright and shiny. We get up onto the hood, very, very unique body line. So we have a raise here that goes towards the A-pillar, another one on the other side, and in the center, a nice faint raise, which kind of disappears as you get about midway to the hood. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup on this RS. This is what you get with the RS package. You're getting these upgraded wheels. This is an 18-inch wheel, machined aluminum, gloss black, 225 on the width, and it's a 55, a nice meaty 55 series sidewall. You can see how the flat black fender flare comes around the whole treatment. It does get a little bit thicker at the top. I think this is pretty much where you need to draw the line. If this would have went any higher, it would have been a little too much flat black plastic, but I'm glad that they brought it from the front all the way around. Going into the fender, you can see the belt line gets picked up right here, and that's gonna run down most of the vehicle. You'll see where that goes in a second. RS, you're gonna get blacked out mirror caps, gloss black. Love the way that they have the two-tone. So you have your blacked out A-pillar, Nice flat style roof. If you notice, that is something that a lot of the vehicles in this segment are going after, is that flat roof design. You do have your very low roof rails, which you could attach crossbars. It's a mixture of flat black with gloss black. We work our way down. Let me show you what's going on here. We have a body line that raises about midway and goes towards that rear tire. Also the flat black on your lower sill treatment. I'm glad that they went just flat black. Simple in design, but it gets the point across. If you're wondering, well, Joe, how much space do we have? 7.6 inches of ground clearance on this Chevy Trailblazer. Now look at this. The belt line goes towards the door, front door, into the rear passenger door, and then drops away, and another one gets picked up, and that's gonna follow us all the way to the back. You can see the low roof spoiler design. I am gonna zonk that. This is a 2021. And we have still that remote control style antenna on the back. It makes it look like a toy. Just give me a shark fin. It's 2021. Out back, you can see the design on the taillights. I like the way they kind of extend and then they integrate into this rear hatch area. And also the way that the rear glass kind of slants down. It's got a unique style to it that mimics that bigger Chevrolet Blazer. Now, RS, this being that RS, there's your RS badge, Rally Sport. You can see how they took the DOT reflectors and kind of flared out the rear bumper area and dropped those suckers in. And then across the lower section, you're getting more of this, this faux carbon fiber design. It actually doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you. I'm glad, though, that you have twin exhaust outlets on both sides, really integrated nicely. This, many people are saying, is a step of some sort. I don't see the purpose of that. It really just kind of looks weird. And then you have a simulated rear diffuser, but I like the blacked out badges. That's another touch of the RS, is you're gonna get the blacked out Trailblazer badge. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this particular SUV. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. There is a prop rod, so we're gonna zonk that. Plus I'm gonna zonk that. I wish it was a little bit over to the passenger side to kind of clean it up. Underneath the hood is probably where original Trailblazer owners are gonna be really let down. You have a choice between 2 3-cylinder engines. Now, the good news is we have the more powerful of the two. That's a 1.3 liter inline 3 turbocharged engine, 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through a CVT transmission, and this one is front-wheel drive. Now, you can get all-wheel drive optional on the Trailblazer. The good news is if you go all-wheel drive, you get a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now with the front wheel drive setup, you're looking at 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. MPGs, not too shabby, really good return. 29 in the city, 33 on the highway. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what does this vehicle compete with? Obviously, one of the main competitors is gonna be that all new 2021 Kia Seltos, also the Kia Soul, and then on top of that, the Hyundai Kona. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what the Trailblazer RS brings to the table. All right, guys, we're inside the all-new 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazer RS trim. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, how much is this Trailblazer? You're looking on this particular one, the way that it's optioned, MSRP right at $26,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, on the door panels, you're gonna notice that you're gonna have hard material at the top. There is a lot of black, but I like that gloss black design that they have there. And then the stitching, that red contrast stitching on the perforated back of the mid portion of the door. It's very soft and it looks classy. Armrest is made out of rubber, so it feels just like you're leaning on a rubber baseball or basketball. And then a small pocket down there. You might be able to fit a taco, maybe a burrito from Chipotle, and then of course a big old bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it all down. Coming to the dash, soft material. The top portion of the dash is hard. Soft material in the center. There's that red stitching. I also like the anodized red look that they put around the AC vents. You got a little tiny cubby here for about 2 Snickers bars. I also am digging this textured material that they have. It's not gloss black. It's like a off black, like a flat black, but it's got a nice design to it. That was smart. AC vents, the way that they're integrated into the top portion of the dash makes sense. You get a little bit of chrome trim. This one, though, only has the 7-inch. So at $26,000, you're only getting the 7-inch infotainment system. The good news is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, And you can get optional, not on this one, but optional wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. At this price point, I would like to at least see navigation. Navigation would be a must in here, but at least you got your Wi-Fi hotspot and those 2 ways of connecting your phone. You have your start-stop button, a little bit of chrome trim, standard AC controls. So no dual climate controls, standard AC. You do have heated seats, of course, no ventilated seats. Down below, you have a large pocket cubby down here for some Twinkies. You can actually stack them up. And then they got you connected with your technology. You got your 12 volt, a USB-C, a USB, and an aux jack. You got a plethora of buttons here. Snow mode, there's a sport mode. You can shut your traction control off, your lane keep assist, and then of course that pesky auto start stop feature. Key fob, let's see what we're working with. Key fob. Here's your key fob, standard Chevrolet, the gold bow tie. We flip it around. You got remote start, unlock, lock, and then of course when you're about to crap yourself, the panic button. 2 cup holders. I do like the smoke carbon that they use here for the trim. I wish they would have used this a little bit more. Shifter has a nice little bit of red, that red RS. The stitch work is nice. This is going to control that CVT transmission. I like the silver that they put around where the shifter area is. Let me go ahead and show you reverse what the backup camera looks like. You do have trajectory, which is really nice. It's a little grainy for 2021, so I am going to zonk up that backup camera. You have a cubby here where you could actually put like a super big gulp. Why only have 16 ounces of beverage when you could have 64 fluid ounces of beverage? You could place that right there. Zonking this armrest. It's made out of rubber and it's hard as a rock, a rubber rock. Open this up. Good news is party tray time. You could put your Planters peanuts. You could put some cashews there. And then you could fill this up with Skittles. Just fill up taste the rainbow as you're driving your Trailblazer. Drop that down. Seats, they're cloth, but they look good. I like the red stitch work. There's that cloth material, it has a nice texture to it. It also has this almost like a neoprene texture. The piping as well gives it a very nice overall look. Now you do have manual controls for the passenger, but me as the driver, I have full electric assist, no sunroof at this price point, and no auto dimming mirror, just a standard rear view mirror, but plenty of headroom, plenty of space up front. Little touches, especially over here, that anodized red with this little net finish, this honeycomb finish, gives it a little bit extra touch. I guess they were trying to make this look like an old crap handle or something like that. But, they thought of certain things to really just spruce up the interior. But why don't you come over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Trailblazer RS. All right, guys, behind the wheel, the business end, here's your power seat controls. Easy to get to, easy to work. Steering wheel I actually really like. Flat bottom, you got that smoked carbon metallic trim, which looks very tasteful. Thumb wheel controls. The overall shape of the steering wheel looks like it's out of a Corvette or a Camaro or something like that. You have your red crisscross stitching almost all the way around. Of course, you're not going to put stitching on plastic. There's more of that anodized trim. No paddles behind the wheel to actually shift. They have those buttons for the radio controls. If you want to shift, you actually have to do it on the shifter, which to me, I'd rather have my hands on the steering wheel. Dash though, simple and straightforward. You do have the thumb wheel drive controls. I like the RS badging, the red trim around the tach and the speedometer, but that center display looks like it's from 1998. So that to me needs to change. You do have lots of information, but it's not color, it's just black and white, and it's only a 3.5-inch screen. So that is an area where I wish they would have done a little bit more work. Let's go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to be liking the Trailblazer. All right, guys, back seat time in the Trailblazer. Great news is I have lots of headroom. Other than that, these seats are as hard as sitting on a wooden bench. So I don't know how Chevrolet was able to pull that off, but they did it. Very, very, I'm hoping this material will break in after you put some butts in it. Seats, you do have 2 pockets, which is nice. Now, if you're wondering what's up with the plastic, this seat could actually fold down, and what's cool is as a passenger, you can put your legs out. So it's like you could have a wooden ottoman with your wooden seat that you're sitting on. So I guess that's a cool idea. The bad news is, while they were engineering such a cool seat, no rear AC, no connectivity whatsoever. But I do have a pocket, so when your phone dies or your iPad, just put that dead device right in that pocket. That's about it. But like I said, room overall is great. You do get an armrest. Now, you see that? WTF, why can't they make the seat as soft as this material? That's what I want to know, but you do have 2 cup holders, which is great. Let's get to the cargo area and see what you could haul in this Trailblazer. All right, guys, time to check out the cargo space. There is no electric assist. You're just gonna have to use your muscles. Actually, not too heavy. If you notice, there's 2 things I want to point out. First of all, I'm quite surprised how high the loading floor is compared to the actual ground. So that's a little something to be concerned about. And then another thing, there's not much of a lip. So if you go shopping, like say you go to the grocery store and you just stocked up on Campbell's soup, all that soup, if you're on a hill, is gonna roll out the back and you're gonna be running after those cans. The good news is you do have 2 little cubbies on each side for those emergency Twinkies. You know, when your passengers get hangry, throw a Twinkie at them. You have your interior lighting back here. We lift this up, you do get a spare on your Trailblazer. So that's a very nice touch. It seems like less and less vehicles have that room. And then when it comes to folding down the seats, look at that. That now is easy. You just hit the buttons and throw it down. Now, if you want hard numbers of all that room, with the seats up, you're looking at 25.3 cubic feet of space. With the seats down, you now are looking at 54.4 cubic feet of space. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about space, we talked about this engine. Let's get to the part where we finally drive the Trailblazer. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see how this new Trailblazer rides down the road. All right, guys, we left Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're in the 2021 Trailblazer RS. Right away, I'm liking the steering wheel. The steering wheel is probably my favorite part of the interior just because of the way it looks. It feels good when you hold on to it. Looking out the front windshield, great amount of visibility. Rear glass, clear as day. Side mirrors are a good size, and they also look good as well. They don't look like just 2 rectangles stuck to the side of the vehicle. On the inside, you know, I just wish some of the touches, like the rubber, was actually some other type of material. Like give me a leatherette material or something like that rather than the actual rubber hard material. 7-inch infotainment system screen. At $26,000, I think we both agree that it'd be nice to have the 8-inch screen on this particular trim at this price point. Steering is actually very, very light, I've noticed. You don't need a lot of effort. So that's something to take into consideration. I'm gonna put it into sport mode. That's gonna change some of the parameters of how this Trailblazer operates. And once you put it in sport mode, the steering does get a tad heavier, which is a good thing. I like a little bit heavier steering feel, just gives you a little bit better feedback. But let's see what acceleration is like on throttle. Remember, you got the CVT transmission with simulated shifts. So 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds is pretty much spot on the money, and that's not the point of this vehicle. To get almost 30 miles of the gallon, I think is one of the big selling points of this vehicle. Pulling out on throttle, the simulated shifts. It actually feels like a standard automatic, to be honest with you. A traditional automatic, the way that they have the simulated shifts built in to give you that shifting sensation, keeps the RPM down, doesn't allow the RPM to just be pegged and scream as you're going down the road. You do have plenty of head space, but shoulder space, depending on who your passenger is, it is a little on the tight side. And the top portion of the door panel being that hard plastic, I wish that was softer. I don't have really a soft option at all to put my arm somewhere, unless I carry around a pillow. Like I buy one of those My Pillows off the internet. But turn in, good feedback coming to the wheel. You do have a bit of body roll, but that's to be expected. The RS is not a performance package by any mean, but it is nice that we were able to bring you the Trailblazer with the extra horsepower, the 155 horsepower rather than 130 horsepower. But driving down the road, it's very smooth. The ride is very compliant. There's not too much wind noise, which is good. All right, guys, we're gonna get out on the highway and see how the Trailblazer drives down the road. You know, you would think for a 2021 model, there'd be a little bit more tech on the dash. I do like the analog gauges, but that display in the center is very, very small. So I'm definitely zonking that. And I'm just gonna go back. This just should have like dual climate control at least. I'm glad it has heated seats. Ventilated seats would have been just a nice extra touch, but I think that's probably just hoping for too much in this particular optioned Trailblazer RS. And it's just interesting because I remember the original Trailblazer, and this is nothing like it. So if you were hoping to try to recreate some of that old magic, maybe you had an older Trailblazer, this one does not do it. This is a competitor, like I said, Kia Seltos, Hyundai Kona, even the Kia Soul, or the sister brand from Buick, the new Encore GX. That's same basic vehicle as this particular one. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. Definitely got to thank Raheel, Eli, and the rest of the crew getting us access to their first ever Trailblazer RS. Is it a standout in that subcompact SUV category? I think it's going to be interesting to see how it really goes up against the main players, especially the new Kia Seltos. This particular one doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Those can be optioned in, but of course, when you option them in, that's going to bring up the price. I personally am not too happy with the Trailblazer. I really wish the Trailblazer would have been that Bronco competitor. But if it's small, subcompact SUVs like this Trailblazer that you want to see on Raised Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. If you want to help us keep bringing great content just for you, click the link in the description, get yourself some Raised Rides merch. Got to give it out to Big Guns McGee. He's not digging the Trailblazer either. He wants to get something else. So Tom will make that happen. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.